Hey team, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to begin with a word problem, convert it to a Venn diagram, open up Python, and then solve it using set notation. Let's do it. So here's our first condition. There are 80 students in the 8th grade. 27 students study French, 38 Spanish, and 6 of them study both Spanish and French. So let's put together a Venn diagram. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to label this, and I'll call this French, and this one's Spanish. And so we were told that 27 people studied French, and 38 people studied Spanish, and 6 people studied both of them. Now, this right here should already throw up a red flag. It's like, how can this be French? That would be like 33 people, so that's no good. So what we have to do is we have to come over here and do a little subtraction on both of these sides, right? So that would be 27 minus 6 equals 21. And on this side, that would be 38 minus 6 equals 32. So what we can do is we can come over here and erase these and say, all right, so this is 21 people and this is 32 people. So if we review the question, the condition with our Venn diagram, notice 27 people studied French. Well, 21 plus a 6 will be 27, and then 38 studied Spanish, so 6 and a 32 is 38. So we have our Venn diagram set up correctly. Now let's go from this Venn diagram to some Python code using sets. So let us build 2 sets from our Venn diagram. Notice that we have these labels here, F and S, French and Spanish. Let's use those. So F equals the set. Now remember, when we build sets, there is no order. There's no right way to put these values in there. It doesn't really matter. So look at French. So it looks like it's 21 and 6. Let's do that. So 21 and 6. Now our second set is the Spanish, and it is 6 and 32. So let's do that right there. S equals 6, 32. And those are our 2 sets in Python. So let's look at our first question, and it was, how many students studied only Spanish? So the method I'm going to be using in Python is difference. So difference says, return a set that contains the items that only exist in S that are not in the set F. So we can see that that is clearly 32. But how do we do that inside of source code? So we'd come down and say print s.difference f. Now that right there will print it to the screen. I could have came up here and said, temp equals s.diff. I could have said that right there and then print temp. Let's do that. And notice that our set is 32 now. Temp is 32. Let us look at the second question. How many students studied only French? Well, notice this is our oval, French, 21 and 6. That's in our set, but 6 is shared with S. They not only studied French, but Spanish as well. The key word here is only French. So we can see that that's 21. How would we solve that in Python? Once again, I'll be using the difference. And remember, the difference returns a set that contains the items that only exist in F and that are not in the set S. So we can see that 6 is shared, so 21 is the result. Let's see the source code. And there you have the source code, f.difference s, and then we're going to print out only French, which will contain a new set. Let's run this. Notice the result is 21. Let us look at question 3. How many students did study any language? So let's solve this. Equals f.union s. And then we can print that out. Print. Now this right here the set comprises all of the elements contained in any 2 or more sets. And it's important to know that sets have to be unique. So notice here we have 21, 6, and 32. And remember, when we're putting things into a set, the order is not important. Let's run this. Notice the result is 32, 21, and 6. But what do we do with this set? How can I find out how many students are actually studying any language? Let's use this last bit of programming. Let's initialize count equals 0, and then for n in the name of this variable, count plus equal n. And then let's just do a nice little print statement so we can see the results here. And let's run this, little Jesse. And notice that we have 59 students. 32 plus 21 plus 6 is 59. Now we can make one change to this program. Notice that on line 11 we said f dot union s. We can change this a little bit and say f pipe s and save that and run it. And notice that we get 59. You can take out the white spaces if you wanted and rerun that, and it produces the same. And there you have it. And there you have it, team. All the way from word problem to source code. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you back in my next video. Have a good week.